Aloha, ladies. Hello, hello, hello. This is your girl Faye with the Faye and Cedar Show, Mommy Corner Mondays. So before I start, I'm going to be probably doing a lot of pausing and hemming and humming. Maybe Cedar will edit them out. I'm going to do a bunch of ad-libbing because I'm not necessarily. I was prepared with some notes because I recorded this before, and I was prepared with some notes. I have no idea what I did with my notes. I was having trouble downloading, and right now I really wanted to get this video out for Monday. I have a lot of family obligations going on right now that I won't be available pretty much after this evening, pretty much right before I start working because I work nights. So I won't be available. Like I said, family things going on. So anyway, another thing, this video probably should have came out back in June when our kiddos was coming home for the summer, but it's okay because most of you probably still have a whole nother month before school starts, because most of what I know, you guys don't start until after Labor Day. I know we do have some homeschoolers or some people that do year-round school. I know for me here, we don't really have year-round school. We don't have year-round school. However, we have really, really short breaks. My daughter actually starts school August 7th here in about a week and some change. But so for the most part, this still would be good for most of you whose kids do not start until September. And of course we can always, repost this video when June, comes around again. And I wanted to talk about, I saw something on social media, of course, because it always usually sparks my Mommy Corner Monday sessions. It was a funny meme, actually. It was about how you have a set schedule when school starts. You have a set schedule even when they have the breaks during the school year. They get up, they eat this, they do this, they do this. And it was a meme that talked about when the kids are home for summer. It's like they get up, put on clothes, eat breakfast, eat a snack, eat a snack, eat a snack. Maybe go outside for a little while, eat a snack, eat a snack, and a snack. And I was like, it's so funny because the snacking really is because they're bored. That's what it really is. And I caught after we came back from Europe, and then my daughter actually had she had like a week off, and then she went into the little summer session. The summer session was only about 4 weeks because, again, we have a short summer anyway. So pretty much the whole month of July, she's been at home. And that's it, because she starts school August 7th. So I actually really, really like that, because it's been kind of tough this month, especially because my husband's schedule has changed. So, of course, when his schedule changed, the entire house schedule changes as well. So, anywho, going back to the snack, that's what my daughter's been doing. I've been telling her, you're not hungry, you're just bored. Of course, she has her Kumon, her little math program, but she only does that Wednesdays and Saturdays, and of course, she has ballet on Sundays. So we still have, and then on Tuesdays, she goes with my father-in-law to go golfing. They do movie and golf, and he's actually started doing that right at July, so it was perfect, because, man. So we still have the Monday, we still have all of Wednesday, because she doesn't go too much in the afternoon, Thursday and Friday. We still have those days where she's getting up and she's looking at me like, because yes, she has Kumon booklets to do, but she's done with that in 20 minutes, because again, that's still a lot of time. Even with those 3.5 days, there's still a lot of time where she's sitting there like, and I know it's hard for me here, and that's one of the things I do miss about the mainland. I know in Virginia, museums are free for kids on certain days, and I think that's throughout the year. I do know down south there, they do have a lot of little club things that you go to, and of course, unfortunately, if you're in a rural area, that's completely different too. So I just want to put this out for a maybe parent. Again, I know a lot of you still have a whole month left, so it's still not too late to start implementing some of this stuff for the last month of summer. And of course, you can think about this when next summer goes around. I was looking at some stats about really long summers. When you get out in June and you don't go to September, that's a really, really long time. They said summer loss. You lose 2.5 months in math. Students will lose that much of math and skills over the summer. So over the summer, they'll pretty much lose 2.5 months of the math skills that they've learned. They're also, I was looking up, students also lose 2 months in reading. Reading skills over the summer. It's the progress of a student that continue learning during summer months. I have a graph here, and I have to be careful with my face because the job I do, but I wish I could show you this graph. Maybe I'll take a picture and send it to Sita. But I have a graph here, and it talks about the progress of a student that continued learning during the summer months, and the progress of a student that discontinued learning during summer months. And also really interesting, it says by 6th grade, students can lose more than 18 months of learning due to summer learning loss. That's a lot. And this, of course, this is with something I read on some Kumon information when I was waiting on my daughter and reading up on some stuff. They said even doing a little bit every day, even in the summer, actually helps out a lot. And that's why I'm really glad I still have my daughter in Kumon, even though she's bored a lot of the times. This the 20 to 25 minutes of her doing the math skills. It's better than nothing. And I remember before my mom put us in summer camp, we would literally sit there and really do I don't want to say a bunch of nothing, because growing up, and I ain't telling y'all my age, growing up, we definitely were pretty much outside all day. But at this, and I wouldn't say we were bored, but I still think even with us being outside pretty much from sun up to sundown, we still lost a lot of learning skills. That's why in September, it seemed like the whole month of September, teachers was pretty much dedicating that to things that we forgot over the summer. You pretty much wasted a whole month of September doing that. So even though we were not bored, that's not what it really was about. What it really wanted to focus on, we still lost a lot of skills. I do remember being like, oh, now I remember after a while. And I think that's also why homeschooling has been huge too. I know one of my friends, she has 4 kids, and she took them out for other reasons, but she also realized that them being out of school for so long was really hurting them as well. So they take, when they take things off anyway, they pretty much go on family vacation, but she does 2 weeks where they're just kind of like, she allows their brains to decompress. Just 2 weeks of, you get up and you do your chores and do whatever of that. And then she goes back into doing that. Plus homeschooling is different anyway, because you're not sitting in school all day. But anywho, and that's like a lot of districts have did the year-round school. And I've heard from other people, and I looked at the stats, that it's actually really pretty good for students where they get a month off here and they get a month off there. They do the 3 months, but they pretty much spread them out, and they still get their week off for spring break and stuff like that. Like my daughter, she has fall break in October. For a week off, and then Christmas break, and then spring break, and then like I said, they get out of school May 31st. They do the summer intermission program. They pretty much have July for the most part, and then they pretty much for the past couple of years since I've been here, they start school pretty much the first week of August. And I think of course, when I was younger, I was like, this is silly when I used to hear about school districts doing this. But now that I'm a parent and I think about the past month and how it's been hard trying to, not necessarily hard, because she still has things to do like ballet and Kumon, and her pop taking her out for things on Tuesday. I realized if she had none of that, this entire month would have been awful. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I actually used to homeschool her, but she was like 4 or 5, but anywho, but I just wanted to just give you some information about that, and maybe you could take that and do what you will with it. Get them into some summer camps. I do know when me and my cousins used to go to summer camp, we were considered low income, so we got either we went for free or we went half off. There's some program, and of course, when you live in metropolitan areas, there's so many things that I saw when I was there last year. And I was last on the mainland last year, and this was just the springtime. But I saw so many, even when I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, I saw these 3 different little pop-ups, little summer programs. And it wasn't all just like you have this kids just sitting in a lunchroom. They really were doing things. Just to, and you know, and I'm not talking about just completely fry their brain and be tiger moms. I've seen the results of that, and that's really bad. So, and, you know, my husband is Japanese American. So he told me firsthand what it's like to have that way too much pressure. Not allowing your brain to just rest. So I'm not talking about that, but, you know, like my daughter is in this program and she does 20 minutes of math every day. You know, just little stuff. You can even go online because because people be like, well, ABC Mouse. Well, ABC Mouse stops after a certain age. What if you have like 8-9-year-olds? You can go online. You don't even have to pay for any program. You go online and look up free worksheets, and you could go Google free worksheets or worksheets on this, and you can print out worksheets. You can go to the library and do that too. But you can print out free worksheets. So even if your kids, you know, can't afford for your kids to be necessarily in a summer program, or you don't qualify for like, you know, half off or something like that, you can go online and every week just print out a bunch of worksheets. And every day, maybe for 10 to 15 minutes, they could, you know, keep their skills sharp or sharpen their skills even more for the upcoming grade. I know when I was growing up too, Cedar would tell you if we didn't have homework, her mom used to print out homework sheets. And if we didn't have homework sheet, we still had to spend 10 to 15 minutes doing a homework sheet, whether it be math or reading skills or what have you, science, it didn't matter. Just, you know, just a little bit a day would, you know, help out. And like I said, sharpen or just keep the skills sharp, even if you can't put them in a program. But I advise people, if they have something in their area, like I said, in Virginia, I know museums are free on Mondays or something like that for kids. That's something I'll probably do every Monday. Even if it was the same 4 museums, we would go back to the same 4 museums if it's free. I know they have a lot little programs like that. And even I know they have programs at the museums too for summer camp. So, you know, people's go-to is usually the Y, but I know museums even sometimes have those programs. Like I said, look for that in your area for next year. And of course, the key is to sign them up early. I knew my daughter was going to go to the little summer intermission. I did that before I left for my trip. But I know if I wanted to get her in a Y for the whole summer, I would have had to do that early on. But I was already in Europe, and it didn't really matter. I knew she was going to summer intermission, and she was going to at least have Kumon as a program. And of course, with ballet as the physical activity, which that's all year round too. So yeah, just wanted to put that information out there, and for you guys who have an entire month left, you could still do this as well. And for the rest of you who don't have the year-round schooling or start school soon, this is definitely something that you could do. Keep in mind for next year. So again, this is your girl Faye with the Faye and Cedar Show, Mommy Corner Mondays. Getting your kids to still keep their skills sharp during the summer. Aloha. Have a great weekend.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.